things at once right now. Okay, let's see here. All right. The reason I had to push it a few times is because this is also during a work time, but I thought, you know what, because it's the early time and it's a bit slow, that I could try to do it during this time. So it's just an experiment. Most likely people are probably working, so it might not work for them. I might have to try another time. I'll wait a few minutes and see. Okay, there's two people. I wasn't sure if this was a good time for you guys because I know that a lot of people are working at this time, and so am I, but it's a bit slow, so I thought I could try. What do you think? Yay. Okay, just a sec. So I will be working at the same time, trying it out. Let me just respond to this quickly while I wait for more people to come in, if they will. Otherwise, like I said, I can do another time and day. Where is that thread? I find it. It's not here. Maybe it's here. Can do. Okay. So yes, thanks for bearing with me again. That's why I had to keep changing the schedule because of with work and try. I'm just trying to see if I can do a live during these times or if it should be more ideal to do the weekends. So I had a few things I wanted to talk about. I'm kind of crunched for time today. I know you guys asked last time to see the garden and I didn't get a chance to show you. So I'm just going to quickly take care of this one thing. Bear with me. I'll try to do it really fast. And what was the time they wanted again? Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry. That should be better. Send an update. Sweet. Okay. So, wondered if you guys have heard about or had a chance yet to see The Sound of Freedom. I saw it on opening day and I really wanted to do a video of, it's not just about this today of what I really want to talk about with you guys, but after seeing it and sharing about it on my social media, I had a lot of other people posting and saying that it's a psyop and things like that. So I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that as well before I share my thoughts, if you want to. No pressure. And how do you guys feel about doing a live on a weekday as opposed to a weekend? Let me know. They haven't, no comments yet, but that's okay. The live is early. Okay. So I'll just, I guess, go into it. I thought The Sound of Freedom is a really good film. Working in the film industry, I thought it was a really good story, well written, well acted, just very well done. Like, it didn't seem just like, I don't know, just a run-of-the-mill sort of rushed out thing, kind of stuff like that. And of course, the topic is so important and it needs to get out there. People need to know, how much of a serious problem this is, and we need to tell these stories. There's so many people's stories that never get out there, and so this is just a representative for others who can relate, and also for all the families, all the parents that have children that have gone missing and never to be seen from again. And as disturbing and sad as it is of where they end up, at least it's finally exposure, right? And I like that it's an independent film and that it's beating all the blockbuster films in the theater, and it's also not being played in a lot of the mainstream theaters. Here, it's only playing in 2 theaters, the Landmark, one in Surrey and one in New West. And they're constantly sold out, which is fantastic. And more and more theaters are getting pressure to show The Sound of Freedom there as well. So if you guys are just tuning in, I'm talking about The Sound of Freedom, wanting to get your thoughts on it, what you think about the film. Have you seen it? Have you heard about it? And do you think that it's a psyop? Because these are some of the things I'm going to discuss today. So it's difficult because I was wanting to do it when it was more fresh after I just saw it on opening day. So I'm just trying to recoup my thoughts and memory now and not be too distracted with work. But I'm wondering if this is a good time still. I'm thinking that it's not as much. I think you guys probably prefer the weekends just by seeing our turnout. But then again, I did push it several times too, so I know we got other things going on, which is fair. And what's this? Okay. So anyway, I feel that whether, I know people think that this could be a psyop now, even if it is done by Hollywood elites underneath everything, behind the scenes, and that they are PEDOs, which is the debate going on right now as well, or that they're a part of the Cabal Club because the leads are shown with they're like Jim Caviezel with the one eye photos and things like this. Let's just look at that first. If that is true, they're saying that it's just, distracting everybody and not really helping or addressing the root issue, which I'll say this. So The Matrix is a film that was done by Hollywood elites and most likely PEDOS, and it still woke up a lot of people. So just the fact that this topic is getting out into mainstream, I think is really huge. And the fact that it shows you how many people are awake as well that are promoting and seeing this film and selling out. Like they've already have 400 million, I think, at the box office. And so it's exciting, in which there's a lot more people awake than we think out there that are seeing despite all the backlash that the film is getting, and conspiracy as well, which I will use it in that way because that's the true way to use that word. I think that, it's also had a lot of opposition. It's not like that it was, they made it look like this, this sort of, how they play both sides. Oh, hello, Alexandra. In which, they had 5 years of difficulty in trying to get this film out. And they have had every obstacle under the sun, which I believe them. I think that the elites didn't want this film out, and they tried to stop it. And, well, people power, and there are people who have funding that are awake and want to see a film, to get this film out there, want to get this discussion happening, because people can also see this film and start talking about it. And they may not mention that a lot of the kids are trafficked by the elites, but that again, a lot of people start digging online, and that's what they find that is linked to. So it's just like a stepping stone, right? Oh, Joey, thank you. Is this an okay time to do a live on the weekdays, or is it you guys all working and busy? Should I stick to weekends? Because I'm just trying this out, as my work's not too busy yet, and my weekends are getting quite busy, so I just wanted to see, particularly because it's summer, and I wake up pretty early, so I might still try to do maybe an early morning one. That's really just a matter of finding the sweet spot for everybody that works. Okay, so back to Sound of Freedom. I do feel also that there are a lot of people on the inside who want to see the cabal brought down and are working on the inside to do just that. So arguments here is Mira Savino, who works for the UN, and UN is well known to traffic little ones, so I gotta be careful still with what I say, even with this stuff. And then of this big conspiracy behind Tim Ballard, saying that he getting a lot of his funding from the Mormon Church, and the Mormon Church is, a lot of it is also about trafficking little ones or just child marriages and things like that. Which when I went through on my road trip to Alberta, I did stop in this small town for food and gas and a break for the dogs. And it happened to be this like Mormon Mennonite town, and it was super creepy because there's just a lot of like older men with young kids, child brides, and yeah, I wanted to get out of there as soon as I could, basically. So that's also a huge debate happening right now. And then also there's photos with Jim Caviezel and Tim getting, and also, was it Alejandro Motivera or another actor who is getting a blessing from the Pope for the film. And again, we know what the Pope is linked to. And so they're saying, well, they're all just laughing at us and this is a joke. So I'd love to get your thoughts on this as well. Do you guys feel that the Sound of Freedom is a psyop or not? Because that's what I wanted to discuss first today with this live. Because I see that it's really split people, which I'm really upset about, in that, and I talked about this in other lives, about how constantly they're dividing freedom fighters. And I use this metaphor like we're fighting this Goliath, and suddenly we stop and we start fighting amongst each other and arguing amongst each other. You're a psyop, and no, you're a psyop. No, if you're promoting this, you're promoting a psyop, and stuff like this. So being a public figure as long as I've been also called a psyop for all kinds of reasons. You know, it's even just being linked to the film industry. She worked for this company, and that company's evil, therefore. So I was also having a debate with one of my other friends about, particularly about the religious association, because I'm not so much, as you know, a fan of religion, and my friend is religious and quite awake as well. And so I really wanted to get her perspective, and because she's particularly Catholic, and I'm not for that religion at all, as I feel it's completely linked to PEDOS, and particularly with the Pope. But she was saying that, you know, also it's been it's not the whole thing, because I'd like to think, or I feel like the whole thing is corrupt. Like I would never want to bring my kids to a Catholic church if I had kids, because of just how corrupt it is, and how much probably in danger my children could be in. And but she says there, you know, it's been compromised by evil, it's been corrupted, but doesn't mean the whole thing is. It doesn't mean all the Catholics churches are and all the priests are. There's are a lot that are speaking out about it as well. And so again, we have to be very careful with blanket statements. I'm sure a lot of the UN is what we understand to be quite dark and with the cabal, but there are some that are probably there for good intentions, and again are trying to take it down from the inside. So just like this, I guess it's throwing out the baby with the bathwater, which for those of you guys who know me and been following me for a while, I've done that, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and I definitely don't want to do that again. I like to see a lot of the good that's coming out, and I know that there are so many traps within a trap within a trap here in this Matrix Inception thing going on here. But I mean, we also have a discernment, and I don't think that there's any harm in seeing this film or promoting this film like a lot of people are debating about, right? I think that, again, it just brings out a discussion and it gets people researching and looking into it for themselves and seeing who's linked to it. And just like the movie The Matrix, it wakes up a lot of people. And even the movies Alice in Wonderland and these Disney shows, yes, we know where it comes from, but it also has been like, and yes, we know it's been used for MK Ultra, but we also know that it's been used to awaken a lot of people as well, to explain to people what's going on and what reality actually is, and how it works and stuff like that. We need these archetype stories to give us context, and we need to tell more stories like this, and we need to create action. So there are also people who love superhero movies, and they meet the actor that plays that hero and find that they're not who they thought they are. They're not, their intentions aren't pure, let's say, or sincere. And so they decide to be, because I wonder how many other people are out there that have stumbled across this trafficking of little ones, and they are working behind the scenes. We'll probably never know of them, to rescue them, right? There's probably a lot. And so that's my thoughts. I'm still very much for the film. I think it's a very important film for everyone to see. And everyone's a bit shy today. So if you want to, like, what are your thoughts on The Sound of Freedom? And the 7 people that are here right now, because I chose a time while everybody's working. Nope. Quiet. Okay. So I guess I'll keep this short today. What do I think about the Las Vegas incident in the past few weeks? Actually, I don't know about the Las Vegas incident in the past few weeks. Tell me about it. Oh, that's okay if you're driving and haven't seen the movie yet. I mean, like I said, there's not very many theaters that is playing in. It's not playing in, for me, in my area, there's only Landmark. It's one theater that's playing it, and there's a Surrey location and the New West location, and they're all sold out. I happened to see it opening day. And it is also free on BitChute as well. But we want to try to fund and support it as best as we can. I think so. I think it's a good idea. Where a lot of people are like, oh, you're not really doing anything or waking up anyone by giving the cabal more of your money and stuff like that. But I think that we're giving pressure to, because a bunch of other theaters won't show it. Okay, sorry, work messages at the same time. So we have to, there's also this website that they give you to, oh crap. Let me just see if I have to quickly check this, but we have to like push other theaters to show this movie, because a lot of them won't. Whereas other theaters are being like overwhelmed because no one can get tickets because they're constantly sold out. Just a second. Okay. I am your profile? Okay. All right. Thank you. Not sure what to say to that. Okay. So if you haven't had a chance to see the film, there's many ways to see it. Let me see. Okay, now I have like this option to see comments, and if they don't think it's appropriate, they can block them, or I can choose to block them. So that one was not something I want to have public, so something derogatory. I don't know what this is about here. Hello, Ruben. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't even know when that interview was with Project Camelot. 2008, 2007. I was talking with someone about that recently, and it's so weird. I don't know how, I can't remember if I was 24 or 28. I know it was my birthday, December 4, and yeah, it's so weird why I suck so much with time. Let's see here. Carrie Cassidy is talking about the movie. It was dead 4 years ago, and 107 released it. They are Q associated. So again, like, even if they are Q associated, or if it's a side or from the Cabal or anything, I still think that there is more good for this film getting out there and many people seeing it than not. And of course, there are many psyops and traps within a trap right now. This is what we're living through, and this is the times, and just to develop our discernment. But we're also, again, we're living in the time of revelations and apocalypse, which means come to light of what's been hidden. And child trafficking has been hidden for a very long time, so the fact that they've prevented films like this coming out since ever, to finally have more, like, one like this out and where we can discuss. And then some people are also saying, well, it's a religious propaganda. I don't find that. I don't find, I mean, it does have religious motivations, which, you know, people need religion for, because life is hard. And if that's your motivation, then more power to you, right? And so it's not, no, like, I guess other shows which could feel more like religious propaganda, I feel like it's done quite well. Just a second here, I have a work message. Okay, they're saying that's not derogatory, my comment. Well, I don't really want to talk about, like, my body. That's not, has nothing to do with what I'm talking about here. And yeah, I'm not showing off anything either in this video. Just a moment. Okay. Anywho, so just wanting to get your thoughts on the Sound of Freedom. That's what we're talking about right now. If you guys think it's a psyop or not, if you think it's a good thing or not, I want to hear your thoughts. Otherwise, I'm just going to ramble a bit more about it. Also, let me know how you feel about me doing a live on a weekday. If that's difficult because you're working, and like me, my focus is split to watching the screen and watching this other screen and your comments and everything like that. Ay, caramba, one moment. Okay. I cannot read that. Something about 2011. Oh. I don't know if it, I don't think it was done in 2011. Yeah, see, I really am not comfortable with this person's posts here. How can I do this? Okay, this is disgusting, talking about pizza, because we know what that's code words for. Almost was like code word for. It's okay if you haven't seen it. Like I said, it's only playing at selective theaters. There's links where we can push other theaters to show it, commercial theaters, and it is also free on BitChute now as well. Oh, 5 years ago. So you might have saw it 5 years ago, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't done 5 years ago. I'm sure it was longer than that. Yeah. I'm so bad with math and dates. I don't even know some of my family members' birthdays, or certain things happened in certain years. It's just not my strong suit for some reason. And yeah, it's very easy for me to get lost. I have very bad sense of direction. So yeah. Always telling and confessing stuff about myself, giving away all my secrets. Okay, so I think that's mostly everything I wanted to say about The Sound of Freedom. But if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you do see it. Like I said, it's really good that this is getting out there. And I feel like we're just going to shed more light on these things and keep exposing it and discussing it. And then, because awareness is the first step towards a problem. You don't know what the problem is until you have some awareness about it, right? And then if a film only gives you so much information, and then you start discussing it and talking with others and digging and doing your own research, you find out quickly, you know, what it's linked to. They might not have been able to say the elites because, you know, they have to, a lot of people get killed for saying that, you know, in videos. People who are working on documentaries and so forth, there's a lot of information about that there too. But we also got to be very careful with throwing out the baby with the bathwater and just looking at it as just black and white, and trying to look at it from the bigger picture. Moth Mellow. I haven't seen the movie yet, but in the past I've watched some long interviews with the real guy whose organization the story is about, and he had a beautiful vibe. Nothing seemed off with him. So that's Tim Ballard. Yeah, you know what? I get sincerity from him too, and also from Jim Caviezel. But again, there are images out there of Jim covering his eye and looking like he's a part of that club. And hello, family, Daughters of Lilith. How does this time work for you on a weekday? Or do you prefer a weekend? And then Tim is also, there's this big article about money laundering that's been surfaced, and that he's getting a lot of his funding and promotions for the film from the Mormon Church, which is linked to a lot of younglings trafficked and so forth. Just again trying to be careful with what I say, because I know certain words here are not okay with censorship. Okay, so you guys are okay with this time. All right, cool. And it is also recorded, so you can see it later. But like I said, because work is started and it's a bit slow, I'm trying to do a couple things at once, so I don't have to push things too much. However, I do sometimes get pulled into last minute meetings. Every time I think I can do a live, I have to do a meeting. So, yeah. We're just talking about, again, the Sound of Freedom movie. If you've seen it, you haven't, your thoughts on it. Do you think it's a psyop? Do you not? Why? I shared my thoughts on it. I'm trying to think if I shared everything I wanted to say about it, as there's been a lot of distractions today, but I've been wanting to talk about it since I saw it on opening day, and I've seen this debate, this split on my social media, people saying, oh, you know, you're not doing anything, you're part of the problem and all that, if you see this film, and, you know, you're just giving them more money and that's what they want. And I don't believe that. I don't think that's the case at all. What do you mean you recently went back to New York and it's a dumpster fire? Daughters of Lilith. Oh, Ruben, I can't understand what you're saying. If someone wants to translate something about English. I think that's Spanish. I can speak Spanish better than I can read it, but some things, yeah. Same with my Mandarin and Japanese, which I'm also trying to learn with some apps. I do not think good or bad of Q. Many of the predictions are 100% true. Well, I mean, I don't know. There's dumpster fires in every city right now with the chaos of the cabal right now, and the banks and all these things going on in the world. And yeah, so Q, again, that's a very good thing to bring up, is that, like, it's so easy for, oh, adds Q, discarded all his bullshit because of whatever argument people have about it. But again, yeah, they've been 100% true with a lot of things. Other things on my fence, I'm not so sure about, because with Q, like, about all the leaders being arrested and their clones and stuff like that, okay, might be possible. What the heck was that? That's just a really weird noise. Sounded like a donkey, but then maybe it's a dog that's very upset. Something happened. So yeah, no, my qualms with Q is just that they're all in Guantanamo Bay, and if that was the case, I don't think this bullshit would still be going on. And if it's the clones, then who the hell's running the clones, and why aren't those ones in Guantanamo Bay or executed, or all these kind of things? And then also the quantum financial system. I know so many people that are in debt because they believe every day that money is coming to their bank account and they won't have to worry, so just keep spending because it's all going to be fine, basically. And I think that is awful. And or also just all the EBSs they said would happen. I wish that the EBS, the emergency broadcast system, for those who don't know what EBS is, would have went off at Biden's inauguration, and all the people would have seen that, like, has all their phones and TVs and tablets and laptops, would show all the awful things that our leaders do with kids. And this was before they rolled out the shots, and then most likely people wouldn't trust their leaders after that, anything they say, and wouldn't take it. So the fact that they kept saying that also is upsetting to me, and it makes me a bit suspicious of them, but that doesn't mean I rule them out completely and I don't listen to them completely. I listen to everybody, and well, to a degree, there's some people I absolutely will not listen to, but and just kind of discern from there. You know what, right? That's right, I can't talk. Yes, Joey, that's correct. Thank you for bringing that up. This movie is not available in many countries, mostly South America, North America, so Canada and the U.S. And so there are, like I said, there's a website that you can go to push the theaters to show it. As I guess they're ramping up to go to other countries. It is also on BitChute as well. But it's good to see this movie in theater. And yeah, so it will be shown in other countries. And but I'm sure you've seen posts about it and advertising, as it's spreading quite a lot. That's another debate about the film that I'm getting from people, is how come this isn't getting censored if it's legit and from a good source, because they don't censor themselves, or information they want to get out there. And I think just the rift that they've created, like all the bad press about it to try to smear and discredit it. However, I've learned in the last few years, well, no, I've always known this and done this, but anything media mainstream says, I completely think the opposite of. I'm like, okay, so they want us to think about this in a certain way, and I'm not gonna buy it. Thank you. That is thanks to my mom. She gave me good genes, and I really didn't do anything. I just kind of showed up. Well, now that's why I'm going and doing like taekwondo and kickboxing and all these different fitnesses, because as you get older, your body changes, and I guess I've been taking it for granted, and now I want to work really hard to keep myself as fit as possible, and healthy as possible, and also just I want to see what potential I have with my body, because I constantly forget that I have a body, and can be quite lazy, frankly. So I'm really working on addressing that this year, and I want to at some point show you guys the before and after of the fruits of my labor, basically. But as it is right now, even though I'm pretty strong and I can do a lot of things, I still can't do one push-up, and that's extremely embarrassing. I will get there. I'm not giving up. Is it true people have been buying a bunch of tickets but not showing up? I don't know about that. I do know that there is an option to buy tickets for people who can't afford to see it in the theater. But I don't know about people not showing up, because from my understanding, the theaters are always full and packed. From other people too who have been there, who just try to like even get on can I sit on the floor? I don't need a seat. Or that seat's broken. I don't care if it's broken. I just want to sit on it. Just be a part and just see this film. And it is very packed from people who've been there. So I can't say if that's true. This is the information that I have so far. There is a donation fund for people who do not have money. Yeah, exactly. So that person just said what I was. It's okay. I know what you meant. That's something I would do. Just always. Damn you, autocorrect. Try jujitsu. Ground grappling. I don't know. We'll see. I'm exploring different martial arts and stuff like that, but I'm not so keen about that one. Just because it's ground grappling. And I also like the discipline too with these practices. Yeah, and it's kind of relationship with yourself and like development to kind of push yourself and just the before and after. What I could do before. If you guys would have seen me in my first few classes, I look like an awkward ostrich, and my mother can't like watch me work out without laughing. So it's not like that anymore. I've gotten a lot better. And I do now have a gi, which I might share a picture at some point when I don't look like a sweaty mess after class. I used to live in New York City and had so much pride. So I used to love New York City, and now they've ruined it. Basically, you're saying it's a mess. But yeah, same for Vancouver. I mean, it's definitely not the Vancouver I remember, and I'm still in culture shock actually from being in Bali and Portugal. It's I don't know, it's just, I guess it's also social media and westernization more so, like it's just disconnected people, and it's now one of the loneliest cities in the world and the hardest to meet people. And very cliquey and flaky, and I can't stand it. People say they're gonna be somewhere or do something, and then they flake out on you last minute. It's super annoying, and every time I meet people, they're like, you're not from Vancouver. I'm like, actually I am, but I don't have this I don't know, Vancouver mentality or anything like that. I guess it's becoming more like, I don't know, I didn't like Toronto when I lived there because I found it quite pretentious, and I think maybe Vancouver's becoming like that too, sadly. Yeah, and the beaches, all the beautiful like water, they're just polluting everywhere, and I love to swim, and I've also been paddleboarding a lot too, which is good to work on the core. Like I said, I'll probably keep this one short this time. What did I want to talk about as well? I don't know if you guys know about Liberty Talk. They did originally start in Canada, and they are from here. I've met them a few times, so Dessa and Norbert. They have their own social media because they were censored all the time, and they made a video recently about how the WHO is planning before the 2024 election to basically do a massive power grab, where for the next emergency pandemic, which they're going to create, will be an opportunity for the UN to take full control, basically, and no country has its personal say. And so this is something that we have to spread as many places as possible. I mean, I'm not even on Twitter, but I'm thinking of just going on Twitter and just sharing this as much as I can, because we've got to stop this, because we are fast losing our freedoms. Even real estate agents are starting to get copies of UNDRIP in their documents now, and I don't know if you guys know what UNDRIP is, but it's basically saying we're going to give the land back to the natives, which is great because we should have done that. But the catch with that is, if they can't run it, take the care of the land the way they see fit, they have a right to the UN, and the WHO has a right to take the land from them and run it how they see fit, which is a big trap again, right? So we're talking about traps within a trap within a trap, and that's what it is. So they make it sound good. They make it sound like they create the problem, they gauge the reaction, and what's going on with all of our world leaders is they want the people to lose faith in them and like just make them into a joke. Biden is a good example of that. so that we're like, we don't trust our leaders. We want someone who seems to know what to do, what's going on and what to do, and basically hand our power over to the WHO and the UN, which are unelected officials who are making all these decisions for us, which are to fully steal our freedoms. And I've just been seeing everything that's going on, and I've only recently started to make lives again and all of that, and I've just been asking myself what I can do to help stop this, because I know that's what I'm here for. I mean, I feel like I've won a lottery in being awake at this time. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but we're awake for a reason, which means there's something we're supposed to do to help stop this. And so I'm really just putting more time aside to think about, you know, what I can do individually with my personal experiences, and just working with other people as well. Like, do I need to create an organization or a group? Hello, Kale. I still want to call you EO, my Australian friend. So I'm actually almost done, but we'll see. I'm still technically working as well, but it's slow, so I can kind of get away with this. But you guys have to deal with my split decision of like also quickly looking at, or split focus, because sometimes I just have to look at my work screen and see what they're asking me and try to politely delay. It's okay, it's recorded anyway. Kale, he's like, I made it. He's like, finds out he's late again. So yeah, so what can we do individually with our, like, particularly our background, our skills, our talent, our passion, our everything, like all those things that make us who we are. I find, like, it's what I said about speaking to people, like, just if one person doesn't, you know, vibe with them, then another will. So if more and more people speak, so you're able to reach more people, because each person has a different approach that might work for another better than the other, right? So, and I mean, we're all saying the same thing in different ways and packages, but just trying to support the freedom movement as much as possible. And that's why I'm really excited about the Sound of Freedom, is because you can see just how powerful and how many are awake, that it can destroy or crush at the box office blockbuster films like Indiana Jones, and what are the other ones that are in theater right now? The new Spider-Verse. What else? There's probably a few more, and you guys probably know better than I do. Which my studio that I worked at prior was working on that one. Well, I was working on the Sea Beast for Netflix, which is up now. But I canceled my account to Netflix because I don't want it. Yeah, so we can put ourselves out there, we can speak, but we also can, you know, show the majority rule, in which we want to see films like this. We want to see films that are exposing and talking about what you don't want us to, you know, what's been hidden for a long time, the ugly, ugly truth, because awareness is the first step, then discussion, then digging and looking into for yourself and finding out the true root of this, and then realizing that it's linked to everything that doesn't feel right what's going on today, and knowing that, again, we're here collectively to stop this from happening. We're here to wake up from this nightmare and become lucid and do something about it. Oh, my back's bothering me. Oh, sorry. Maybe I'll move this way. Thank you. Like I said, I guess I'm working on it as well. So, of course, myself being as healthy as possible, but seeing Canada, that's another thing that they're doing, is they're really going after health food stores and any kind of health food projects, and are trying to ban it, so that it's more and more pharmaceuticals and their junk that is the true medicine, and everything else is quackery, but it's natural, you know? They're also spraying so much in our area, and everywhere else that I was looking up, I saw an article about bees and aluminum, and they're showing that bees are losing their memory of where their flowers are and their hive is, and they're actually showing signs of Alzheimer's, which is terrifying. I mean, like, bees are everything, as you know. Without bees, we can't, nothing is possible. And our garden, which I promised I'd show last time and I didn't, I might do this time. I will get work messages on my phone and I'll try to do my best to manage both. But yeah, so I'll show you our garden, and there's so many beautiful bees. Trader Joe's, I don't know. I went to Trader Joe's in the States and I wasn't impressed. I found there's a lot of garbage in it, and also a lot of mainstream BS, brainwash, and yeah. I think the best is just to, you know, grow and eat what you know. There is also, trying to get my mom on board for it, is tower gardens. It's she really just wants to grow everything outside, but I'm like, but when it's crappy weather here and winter and we can't grow anything, the garden's going, you know, you can only freeze so much. I'm doing a live, what is it?
Okay.
What is it? Speaking of my mom, there she was. Yeah, you can, a tower garden allows you to grow all year round, particularly with them putting mRNA in our vegetables, and particularly our lettuce and spinach. And just a sec, I got a work message. Hold on. Yeah, it's very alarming about the bees and geoengineering. It should be banned. Yeah, there's so many, like, we are in like this crucial time right now. We've got to act. We can't be passive. And that's my other qualm with Q is, oh, you're watching a movie. Just sit back and enjoy popcorn and let it all play out while you lose more of your freedoms. I don't think so. We got to act. We got to do something. Not just watch everything. Growing season in Florida. Well, you can grow all year round in Florida, man. It's just beautiful there. Just a second. Woo! Burping, nice. Such a lady. Oh, already they thumbs upped it. I gotta thumbs up it too now. Actually, let's give a fun emoji. This Bob and Parrot. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. I don't think this concerns me. Let me just check. Okay. This does not concern me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Trader Joe's is also overpriced as well. Oh, jackfruit. You can grow that in Florida? Wow. Last time I had jackfruit was when I was in Bali, and it's pretty scary. It's like this really hard, like a coconut, but also like spikes all over it. So if like if it falls on you, you're not gonna live. But it's pretty good, very tasty inside, very sweet. Durian's also kind of like very hard and spiky as well, but smells horrible. Yeah, like 1,000 farts is what I like to say. But yeah, it tastes all right if you hold your nose. Good old Bali days. Do you remember jackfruit? Again, I want to call you Eo. Kale? Do you, because Kale was also out in Bali with me. That's pretty good. So yeah, so basically, what can we do to stop this agenda of taking all of our freedoms? There's also this other video I watched recently and I shared on my social media, by which I mean Facebook, because I don't know, I'm not really an Instagram girl. And I'm gonna get into Twitter, but I'm not a fan of Elon Musk either. I don't trust the guy at all. They make it seem that it's free for now, freedom of speech, and that he cares about that, and that's how they start it, and then they censor, and show their true colors. So, but still, it's a tool, and it reaches a lot of people, and I'm gonna use that for all I can. But I have to, like, teach myself how to make an account and everything. I don't know why it's complicated in my brain, but that's something I'm gonna do, and just try to spread the word. So anyway, there was this meeting about world leaders that were very concerned with what the WHO and the UN are planning to do on taking our freedoms, and discussing on what they can do to stop it as well. Leaders, I guess, that aren't in cahoots. So that was really neat to see, and just how determined they were to stop them. And which I think this is what we really need right now. This is why we are here at this planet at this time, to free ourselves, and to give our children, our children's children, an actual future, to not steal their future. To quote Greta, I don't know why I did that, but I'm not a fan of her either. So yeah, these are the things I wanted to say today. Any thoughts or questions? Otherwise, I've already talked in almost an hour. Wow. Otherwise, I'll cap it there. Yeah, Michael, thank you for showing up, and I will talk to you more on Telegram and give you some updates. We've had a lot of skunks showing up in our garden lately. So maybe I should actually show you the garden, because that's what I promised